Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart. I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. Welcome to this tarot series where we'll be diving deep into the North and South Node natal placements within your birth chart, right in time for eclipses. In this reading, we will go deep into the Virgo North Node, Pisces South Node. We will discuss what this axis means, as well as supportive tarot and oracle messages. This reading also may resonate for anyone that has Virgo or Pisces placements in their chart. Take what resonates as always and leave what does not. If you are unfamiliar with your natal placements, I offer personalized birth chart readings where you get a full 2-question tarot spread as well as detailed birth chart notes, personalized support from me. And I do also offer relationship synastry chart readings. You can check out all of my helpful links below if you want to get a personal reading with me, or you can find this information easily online. You can join me on Patreon. I'm going to be doing a pick-a-pile reading here for the upcoming September 17th lunar eclipse in Pisces, and it's so relevant for this South Node. So I highly encourage you to check out my Patreon for extra supportive content. I do monthly love extended readings there, as well as all eclipse support for pre and post. You can check back to the last eclipse readings I've done on there as well. And as a Patreon member, you also get 20% off all of my private services. So if you like me as a reader, you like my style, you can continue to get support there and also get personal readings with me at a discount. So these two cosmic points, what do they mean? The North Node is our guiding system. These are points in the chart, right? So these are points that we look to as we evolve and grow, hopefully. The South Node represents past, the first 7 years of our life, right? And the family we were born into. It talks about family karma, past lives, even if you believe in that, especially with this South Node influence. This is 12th house. Pisces South Node is 12th house, talks a lot around our lineage, ancestral karma, etc. So again, this is a profound time for you, especially with the South Node in Pisces, North Node in Virgo, to dive deep into this South Node. There's a lot of misconceptions that, Pisces are laid back and, easygoing sign, not to say that they aren't, but that can be far from the truth, especially with the South Node influence, which talks more about the comfort that they can find themselves in, like the restraints. Pisces work is around the martyr, really, and it's being too self-sacrificing, which is what we're learning with this Saturn and Pisces influence, and that's not going to be really ending until 2026. Relentlessly chasing an ideal or trying to heal the collective wound while getting lost in their own emotions, right, and their own needs and their own desires, especially at the cost of others. This is Neptune, where we can easily get lost in fantasy and misconceptions and victimizing ourselves. There's a strong significance of this Neptunian quality with the South Node. Limerence is the state of being infatuated, and so there's this ideology and fantasy that can be found with this limerence. Limerence is really the key word that I want you to feel into. Where are you not rooted in reality? Where is this kind of utopian idea, right? So this can also talk about, with the South Node, again, family, mentors that lived in this kind of utopian world or dealt with even substance abuse. This is very strongly highlighted with the Pisces South Node. You yourself or people around you that you've attracted, right? Because this is what we're comfortable with. It's how we cope with this emotional trauma, especially as a collective. Pisces is the collective. It's the last sign. So they can feel the weight of the world and they become a victim, right? And they play that martyr because they feel like they have to sacrifice to feel good within oneself and accepted, right, by the collective. So this Virgo North Node is asking you to remember that, like all of us here on this planet, living on planet Earth, we live in the same world as everyone else, dealing with the same pressures and demands. And the difference is they often hold themselves to invisible standards, both Virgo as well. So there's a lot around standards, expectations, and avoiding sharing them, feeling that they won't meet their own impossible expectations, or that they'll be judged or criticized. The North Node, Virgo, needs to learn how to look at that inner critic as an inner coach. Your intuition, right? Really listening to your body, right? It's so strong. You come packed with so much information with this Pisces South Node that you have to not let yourself be diluted by your intuition and actually trusting it. Pisces South Node people struggle with an idea of imperfection, as well as Virgo, and seeing the world in such an imperfect place, like I said. And this Virgo North Node wants you to thrive when you realize this, and that the imperfections and mistakes, whether they are on a micro or macro level, are all a part of your soul's growth. The journey isn't around being perfect. It's about practice. The key here is self-forgiveness, understanding that perfectionism, or just perfection in general, it's unattainable for anyone. And that real growth comes from embracing imperfection. Again, learning that they do play a huge role in shaping and shifting the world as we know it. Let's dive into your reading. Why, hello there, my Virgo North Node, Pisces South Node. Again, wherever you have Virgo or Pisces in your chart, this could be highly influential for you. And again, this eclipse is going to be monumental for Pisces, especially. The Saturn in Pisces has been really kicking us into stepping out of the martyr, especially with the North Node in Aries currently. We are really trying to become more independent, free thinkers, autonomous, and that doesn't mean disconnecting from the needs of others and the collective, because as we know it, the world is suffering. There's a great amount of suffering here, and that Saturnian influence is really asking us to see the collective, see what's happening, but not become a victim to our circumstances. And that's so strong here with the South Node in Pisces. Again, it can talk about the relations that you had, your mother, your father, dealing with substance abuse, this utopian, right? Or even I can think of the Pisces South Node as the spiritual bypassing and the martyr, right? Those are really strong signatures of, acts of service and making us feel better about ourselves. And yes, of course, the humanitarian thinking about others, it's important, but we can't do that with an empty cup. We can't do that without looking at our own wounds, right? We can't bypass what we've been through, our own intuition, and what we need to heal just because we are helping others. This is huge for any healer, therapist, right? Mentor. I myself know this strongly. I have a ton of this 12th house in my chart, my midheavens in Pisces. And as I've learned through my first Saturn return, again, that's usually when we start to embrace these North Node qualities. Again, astrology and tarot are an evolutionary process. And again, free will's always at play, but we're really trying to, and I have tried to do this many times where I, had this idea around what a healer looks like, what it means to show up in the world. And, no one is ever truly healed. I don't believe that. I believe that we learn how to cope, right? And that's what's so strong here. The Virgo North Node is asking you to learn how to embrace that inner critic and that desire to want to help and assist others and be of service, right? Virgo represents the 6th house of service, purification. So this is also talking about detox, purifying your body, healing the body. Virgo also represents the goddess. It's feminine energy. So whether you're male or female, this is a lot around healing the feminine wound connected to your mother. Again, your mother could have dealt with substance abuse, or anyone in your life at that case. This is a general reading. If you want to go deeper into your personal blueprint, we can do that, okay? Check out my links below. And make sure to hit that like button. Hit the bell to stay up to date with my notifications. I do monthly free readings here on YouTube. I'm going to do the Virgo and Leo readings first, and I go backwards, right? So Libra will get, the bonus. I always set it up that way. So Libra, you'll be last for September, but you'll be first for October. So just know that's kind of how I set up my schedule. And if you hit that bell, you can stay up to date with your placements, okay? So let's get into your reading, okay? Let's talk about this. I'm gonna pull from this new deck that I just got. It's a beautiful deck. It is so, so beautiful. It's the Creativity Oracle. There's a lot of power in the images here. And again, it's really important for you to take your intuition, right? Pisces South Node, the strong signature of Neptune, and grounding it in this Virgo energy. Your first Saturn return is usually around 28 to 30 years of age. So if you haven't experienced that yet, you will be really profoundly shaped and shifted by this lunar node axis. And again, wherever you are, you know, you guys are all at your own personal timelines. You might be experiencing your second, right? This is usually your second Saturn return is around 57, 58, 59. Okay, what do we have for this Virgo North Node? You also could really be magnetized towards, again, Pisces, strong Virgo as mentors. Virgo is the great teacher. But learning that all teachers and healers are not perfect, right? We might put people on pedestals, or we might put ourselves even at sometimes, and we have to learn how to humble ourselves and also really, again, embrace that inner critic and make it our inner coach. You might have had, again, a lot of Virgos in your life, parents that were Pisces or Virgo as well for some. What do we have here? Look at this beautiful, the moon. This is the waning crescent. So it's losing light, and it's right before the new moon. So this would be important for you, the waning crescent phases, to look into those, because this is where some profound healing will occur as you navigate this North Node in Virgo, okay? This is also, again, very feminine with the moon showing up here in the flowers here even. So again, a lot around the feminine, whether you're male or female, we inherently have both. This is talking about dreams. Connect to your intuitive dream world of metaphors and symbols. That's that South Node influence. You come packed with a plethora of knowledge that maybe you have not even gained access to. And that's where the Neptunian shadow side can come in, where we become delusional. We think that it's irrational. We have irrational fears, phobias even, substance abuse. So there's a balance here with this dreaminess, but bringing dreams into reality with the North Node in Virgo. Again, Virgo is 6th house. This is ritual, routine, daily practices, detoxification, purification, self-care, okay? So making your dreams a reality. So strong here, right? Rooted. So we have this very dreamy Neptunian, right? And then we're rooting it. And then with this fertile soil and ground that we are planting our seeds as we enter into the new moon phase with this waning crescent, things can bloom and grow. There's a return on our investments when we actually nurture the fertile soil. This is working with earth medicine, Virgo North Node, okay? Let's pull from the Sacred Destiny. Pleasure. Virgo North Node. We don't want to use escapism. Oh yeah, pleasure just flipped out again. There it is. Okay, it wants to come out. I was just going to say there's purification on the bottom. Yeah, purity and transformation. So there's a lot of signatures around purification. This is detox, cleansing, diet, water, exercise, any way that you can really detox the body and declutter, stagnant energy. This is cord cutting. This is, again, past life regression could be really helpful for you because, again, Neptune talks about past lives. So the South Node naturally does for any of the signs, but with this South Node especially, you could have been a spiritual, psychic medium, you could have been very connected to the metaphysical world. And depending on what past life you lived, that could have been very shamed, right? You could have been even killed. Think about Salem trials, right? That's what comes to mind here, is that You could have been literally killed, sacrificed, that, you know, because of this gift. So maybe again, you had parents that were like, that's a crock of shit. Your dreams are not, you know, real. Like, you're delusional. You're making this shit up, kind of thing. And you have to really be able to stand up for yourself again and not like allow yourself to become a victim to those circumstances or even your own thoughts, right? Pleasure is here as well. And like I was going to say with this card, with that Neptunian quality is a substance, right? So what things that we seek pleasure in and why, and finding a healthy balance there with pleasure and what brings us joy. And naturally, there is a strong signature of being a provider, acts of service with Virgo and Pisces. Both of them strive for this, just in different ways. It's a very selfless axis here, so it's really important for you to have healthy boundaries. I will include the Saturn and Pisces link below. I'm going to write that down before I forget, because I did that reading about almost a year and a half ago. But right now we have Saturn and Pisces, and again, that's going to be going on until 2026. So I will put that link below if you want to get more familiar, and it would be very, very, very important for you to see where you have 6th house in your chart, Virgo or more Pisces, and also your Saturn placement. When is your first Saturn return or your second, right? If you haven't experienced them or don't know this information, I offer personalized one-on-one birth chart readings, okay? So if you want a very supportive reading, you know where to find my links below, okay? Let's dive into your tarot message here. Remember, you have so much to give. You are meant to give something. You are meant to bring your dreams into reality here. And it's meant to give you joy and pleasure. It's not, yeah, look at you. You could have Aries in your chart. The Fool's all about joy, like stepping into the unknown with your heart open, ready to experience all of life's ups and downs. Again, the Fool is rooted. There is a bit of foolishness, right? And they can sometimes be perceived as not being rooted in reality, but they are the visionary. This is the first. This is the zero. This is the starting point of the major arcana. Right, yellow represents joy, the sun as well. So it's very happy, blissful. It's like wild abandon, right? They're about to jump off a cliff, but they're like, I'm doing this because it brings me joy, it brings me pleasure. So there's a lot around pleasure. And remembering to stop and smell the roses as you are on this journey, because there is some sort of pilgrimage here. Like, again, spiritual retreat, detox. Something about the unknown, stepping out on a new journey here. A vision that you might have had that you need to share with the world, because it's going to bring some sort of celebration structure. Look at that, more Aries energy here. So Aries could be predominant in your chart, or again, Aries could help you. This is I am. So again, this is again taking yourself out of this kind of selfless, self-sacrificing martyr, right, of service, and learning how to balance that energy. And Aries energy will help you here. Strong Aries of being I am, rooted in who you are. First house. Looking at your sun sign as well. What else for this Virgo North Node? What advice can we give them right now, ancestors? Yeah, so much of this fire element. Or do you have fire in your chart, or fire signs could really help you. Again, Virgo North Node. If you don't have Virgo in your chart, Virgos could also help you learn how to work this North Node magic. And I always say this, even if you might, you know, maybe a part of you is like, I hate Virgos, right? For whatever reason, it's usually because there is some sort of quality, because again, every sign has their positive and negative. It's just, that's the polarities of life. There's nothing that we can change about that. But there's always tension there, and where that tension is where the growth is. So there's a lot to learn from, especially fire signs here, and also Virgo. And again, Pisces, where you're learning through relation, you're seeing the negatives and positives of these qualities, okay? But there's so much inspiration here. There is so much about a vision. And there's a journey here. There's a vision. There's a passion of yours. There's a creation that you're meant to birth. That's not a dream. It's meant to be actually rooted in reality. And it's a truth that you know. What is that truth? Maybe you are getting familiar with it. It's very clear to me that you might have felt like there was pressures, demands. You might have felt that you were invalidated, 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands in reverse, where you just felt like there was a fear to speak up here, right? Past pain, betrayals, King of Swords. It could have had a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Leo, or a fire sign that maybe made you feel small. It could have been around a mother, especially with the Empress here. But you have to stand into this energy, whether you're male or female, of a growth mindset, not letting the pains of the past hold you back. 10 of Swords in reverse. Strong Gemini influence here. Yeah, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, not playing small anymore, allowing yourself to birth something new here with this Fool energy. There's so much joy that's awaiting you. Celebration, foundation. Whatever that dream is of yours, please embrace it. It could be as simple as a karmic lesson, right, that you're meant to learn. And it could be through work. It could be through a relationship. It's going to be unique for each of you, but it is very much something that you're meant to step into. And it's a deep truth that you apparently are already very aware of, because this is here upright. What is your truth? And really believing in it wholeheartedly without any sort of naysayers or the past trying to hold you back. There is going to be some unknown territory, just like any of these north and south nodes. The north node is unfamiliar. It's stepping out of our comfort zone, right? So it's unfamiliar territory, much like this Fool, but they don't give a F. They're going for it because they know that this is their truth, and it brings a vision into reality, and it's very sustainable. So it's like, imagine when you have whatever that is, a relationship, career, friendships, family, relationships of all forms, where this brings such pleasure and joy, and it's also rooted. It also may bring an income, right? That is beautiful. That is what's called flow. So having this flow in your life, what a beautiful reading. I hope that this resonated. If you like this series, make sure to drop a comment, hit that like button, and stay tuned for my free monthly readings here, and check out my helpful links below. Bye for now.